arts. Welcome to another episode of Ghoul Talk. I am here with my co-host Anna Hell. Anna Hell, how you doing? You need to introduce our next guest.
This is such an exciting episode. Here today with us is Lauren LaVera. Woo! Y'all might have heard of a couple of things she may have been in, little Iron Fist, little Wetlands, and the much anticipated upcoming TERRIFIER 2. We're so excited to have you here, Lauren. Thank you so much for coming on Ghoul Talk.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before we get into like the movies and everything, when I was reading about you, something that actually like caught my eye and I was very impressed with are your martial artist credits, which on Ghoul Talk, we are big on women empowerment and strong women, promoting them, and that is badass. Can you tell us where you're from, the whole background, what got you into it, stunt performing, everything? Was it, what came first, acting, that?
Love that. Women empowering women and badass women. I love to hear it. I started doing martial arts 20 years ago. Before acting, I only started acting like 4 years ago. I started with Taekwondo and then I moved on to other things like Khmer, Wushu, Capoeira, Jiu-Jitsu. I've kind of dipped my toes into everything. Through martial arts, I made a lot of friends who were also martial artists, and they were stunt performers. I actually was at an acting class in Philadelphia. Huey Loftus is a casting office, and they also provide acting classes for locals. I met Monir and Justin Clark and taking classes there. And this was like my first acting class like 5 years ago. We had that mutual friend, Muhammad. They were like, oh yeah, we're stunt performers, we're trying to get into acting. And I became friends with them and I started training with them and did stunts with them. And yeah, it's all history after that.
So have you had a favorite performer or actor or actress you've worked with? Also was looking at your IMDb and you've done a couple of my favorite things. It's not horror, but it is holiday rom-coms.
I knew you were going to say that. I love
we're not talking about it. It's like, but
Christmas movies. Yeah.
Your resume is so varied and it really shows that kind of range. It's fantastic.
Thank you. The rom-com was fun. I was filming that the same time I was filming TERRIFIER 2. I took like a month hiatus from TERRIFIER 2, went to Atlanta, did the very cheesy Christmas but even the actors I worked with on that, I worked with Nia Vardalos from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the writer star who is brilliant, like she's amazing. And I'm also writing with a friend of mine, so I kind of picked her brain like during lunch. I was like, so what's your career like what's it like to be a writer and a badass woman? She was really amazing. Another actor that I got to meet and work with on a show is Sally Fields, and she is I know, I cried when I met her.
Oh my god, I love Sally. What was that on?
I know, that was on Dispatches from Elsewhere, Jason Segel's show that came out last year, I think. He's also amazing.
He seems so fun. Like he was just fun to hang out with, kind of. Yeah.
Very cool guy. Sally Field was the reason I got into acting, so I kind of cornered her and was like, can I get your autograph? Oh my god, I wrote it. And she was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. She was amazing, and she's so, like, she's just the tiniest little person. She's like, she can't be any taller than 5 feet, so she's much bigger on screen because she has like this presence, but like in person she's like down here and you're like, oh Sally, hi. Yeah, she was probably her, just because I was so starstruck by her. I've worked with brilliant actors like David Howard Thornton, and not even just him, like all of the actors in TERRIFIER 2 are just amazing. I can't wait for you guys to see the other actors, and because they're so amazing. They're brilliant actors. They were so easy to work with, and their characters are so layered and complicated, and especially the two girls that play my friends and the woman who plays my mother were all just amazing women and very interesting characters. It's very fun. It's very uncomfortable. You're sticky and like most of the time because of the fake blood, but it's so fun. I recommend it.
Yeah. No, just real quick, I just wanted to say, because we were talking about like fangirling out, I probably would have totally fangirled out with Ice-T because I'm such an Ice-T fan. Did you work like directly with him on Clinton Road or?
Yup. My character, it's not the character I auditioned for, but they wanted to work with me, so they just hired me for this other role. It was like this silly kind of ditzy girl, and his character's kind of like inadvertently making fun of my character. So we had a lot of fun beforehand, and he would like tell me like, I don't really think this about you, like it's obvious. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And I was very new to acting at this point anyway. It was one of my first features. But I think one of the first things I said to him, I was like, do you watch Rick and Morty? Because they did like a, do you guys watch Rick and Morty? Do you know what
he does?
And I asked him, I was like, have you seen that episode that they did about you, Ice-T? And he was like, yeah, it's all in good fun. But he's like a very cool dude, like amazing. I would work on anything he's in.
And I am like a SVU super fan, so.
And he's very cool. Like it would be a delight to meet him.
Yeah.
He
seems like he never would overreact. He's just laid back and smooth and cool.
Exactly how you would imagine he is. He is that. So absolutely.
Like you said, you only started acting a few years ago, but like when I was looking at your movies, there's a lot in the last few years. Just like no matter how much you were in it or not, it seems like you kind of went and did a whole lot. And a lot of that is horror films, which we are a horror company. So before we jump into the TERRIFIER, can you like give us a list of all the kind of horror films that you were in? We were talking about Clinton Road. Lauren, let's dive into the horror.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like in my mind, I haven't done a lot of horror, but I guess I have. I've done a lot of horror shorts.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
I honestly, besides TERRIFIER 2, I honestly prefer. There's something about a short film, like a good short film. It's like a passion project. I worked on this one called Miss Barton's Famous Cakes, and it's kind of like a horror film noir type thing. It's more suspense thriller. It might be one of my favorite films that I can't say favorite because I've worked on a lot of good ones, but one of my favorite films that I worked on because everybody worked so cohesively together, and it was just such a beautiful environment, and yeah, it's smaller, kind of like family feel, whereas not a lot of feature length films have that. TERRIFIER 2 we did, but it was a much smaller crew, but it kind of had like that short film dynamic, even TERRIFIER 2. And I work a lot with the same people, not on purpose, they just ask me to, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I love working with you, let's keep doing it. I just worked on one called Stalked that's premiering now. It's doing like the whole festival circuit, and I work with those guys all the time. I love horror films. I didn't expect to work in horror films, but I really enjoy them.
TERRIFIER 2 was originally supposed to be out in 2020. Obviously, that was a year that was weird, or something happened, and we're all anxiously, watching social media. I know we've been watching Twitter, all these other accounts for a little bit of nuggets when it might be out. We're hoping this Halloween because more things are opening up, but you can, without giving anything away, speak a little bit to your character on there.
I am very excited for people to see it, and not just, like I said, not just because of Sienna, but because of everything involved. All of the actors were amazing, and Damien killed himself and is continuing to kill himself working on this project. I ask him almost every day, is it done? What's going on? Like I'm constantly, to the point where like recently he was like, you need to be patient. And I'm like, do I seem impatient? And he was like, yes, please be patient. I am working on it. And I'm like, okay. So as much as people are like bugging him and asking him, I'm doing it more. He's getting these questions from everyone, including me, probably worse, because I'm so excited, because I saw firsthand how wonderful it is, and I want people to experience it because we all really worked so hard on it. Hopefully, yes, we are all desperately hoping for October, or at least autumn, like we're desperately hoping for it. He does have it picture locked though. He's working on sound design, color correction. He's adding a couple more things and stuff like that. He pretty much has like a rough cut of everything. He just needs to polish it, and he's working on distribution as well. So yeah, he's doing that. But as far as like my character, yeah, I've been away from her for a year. I wrapped her a year ago almost, and it's one of the my most favorite roles because she, like you said, is a badass, but she doesn't know it, and I think that's what I appreciate about her, because a lot of us badass women don't realize we are until we are facing something that kind of lets us discover it ourselves. And I love that about Sienna. I think that was one thing that Damien really wanted to convey when we spoke about the character initially, because he loves Ellen, he loves Ripley, obviously, who doesn't? Alien's amazing. I think she was a big inspiration for Sienna, and I can see that in the writing, and I can see it in the development, and in her arc and stuff like that. I can't tell you whether or not Sienna survives, but I can tell you that she deserves to. She puts up a fight that is unlike anything I've ever done myself, and I love seeing that. And another thing, and you'll understand this because being involved in stunts, the fights are realistic. It's not like me, a 5'5", 100-something pound girl with like a big guy punching him and he just falls to the ground. No, I have to find ways to make my strikes effective because I'm smaller than him and he's a powerful demonic clown. So that's what I liked about it. Getting thrown around. I'm not like one punch, he's down. I have to make my strikes count each time I strike him, which is what I liked about it too, because I mean, I love when women are strong, but like make it a little realistic, like you know what I mean? Yeah. The writing is fantastic in that there are things that are unbelievable, like there's a majestic aspect about it, but also what is grounded is grounded. It's realistic. There are parts that you're like, oh, okay, that could really happen. Of course, a demonic clown, it's not very likely, but the way it's handled is pretty, who knows? Who knows? A lot of it's grounded in reality. So I was pleasantly pleased and surprised by that.
I believe it says on IMDb, there's a picture and she's in like a Valkyrie looking costume kind of what I thought of like, whoa, is she a Valkyrie? What are we getting at here? Like,
yeah, I could tell you this. I don't know if it's necessarily a spoiler.
Wait a minute. Are we gonna see cosplay of this at conventions? Because that would be sick. Like,
yeah, I would love to see that. Yeah, Sienna's a cosplayer. Like, that's, I know, it's pretty cool. Like, she made that costume for Halloween. Like, that's her Halloween costume. And she has a deep connection to that costume. It means something to her. I love that about her, and I would love, oh my God, I would love to see everybody and their father cosplay that. Like, I would be so happy. I will cry if I see that. And I've had some people reach out to me saying, oh, I can't wait to meet you at cons and I'm gonna cosplay. I'm like, please do. So yeah, I'll cry if that happens.
I think that just that visual of the Valkyrie costume adds to that total strong woman, total warrior. It's just awesome. I cannot wait to see this movie.
I'm excited for everybody to see it, but especially female identifying people, because I think they'll feel represented, hopefully. They'll feel strength, I'm hoping.
Terrifier 2 this year, hopefully. What else you got upcoming projects in the pipeline we can look out for?
I just wrapped yesterday a film called Not for Nothing, and it's like a kind of comedic mafia-esque drama film with Mark Webber from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and who was amazing, and Mike Bash and Danny Donnelly and some really fantastic actors. Just wrapped that yesterday. I'm working on another film next week. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the title. I'm actually not sure. I never know these days because I'm signing NDAs right and left, so I just try to make the safe choice. But it is the same producer that produced the Fast and the Furious franchise. And
that's all we need to know.
That's today we learned.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm very excited for that. It's another very interesting project. And then in October, I'm doing another film, which again, I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say the title. But I got some things that I'm doing, and I'm excited. I'm always grateful to work.
I know you have Instagram, so we'll link to your Instagram so people can follow you on social media, keep in touch with all the projects you're doing.
Yes, I have Twitter as well, which I think it's @_Lauren LaVera_ because someone else already had Lauren LaVera. I'm not that like active on any of my socials. I just started a TikTok, which I have no idea. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm also on Facebook, but again, I'm not really that active. Follow me if you want, but I'll try to be more active. Maybe if I get more followers, I will be.
It was such a pleasure, you know, hanging out for Ghoul Talk, us ghouls just talking, and we're so excited to see all your projects that are coming up this year, especially TERRIFIER 2, which we are just anxiously, not patiently waiting for.
We are no longer being patient. We're ready. Woo! All right. Thank you so much to our very special guest, Lauren LaVera. Follow her on social media. Be sure to watch for TERRIFIER 2. Fingers crossed it's this year. We're all super excited. Thank you so much for being here from the bottom of our like cold black hearts. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll come back anytime.
Awesome. So that's it. Scream Hearts, Hellions, stay tuned. Make sure to follow Lauren on social media, linking down here. Subscribe, like, share, invite your friends. And we'll see everybody soon.